Fallis. I'm a creator, a DJ, an entrepreneur, and a parent, which is probably my most important role. My daily hustle consists of many things, such as making content, here we are, and DJing. I was just DJing in Las Vegas last night, and creating all sorts of content from YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, but trying to make interesting content that we engage with, and then getting into home and real estate as I become a parent. I feel like this is the most important place we could be, so I'm super fortunate to be able to shift my career in that direction.
It must be hard, the traveling, right? Especially now as a parent, you must get this question all the time, but balancing that and family.
Yeah, family life, I think, is what you make it. Obviously, it comes with its challenges with work. We travel quite a bit, but luckily can take our kids on a bunch of the trips. The life of an entrepreneur, we work for ourselves and kind of only eat what we kill. So that is beneficial in the fact that we can stay home when we choose to or want to, or if your child is sick, you can kind of work your schedule around that versus being confined to certain office hours. So it is nice, but it also comes, everything's got its pros and cons. I'm unclear if we're born entrepreneurs or not, but I would say at a young age I did individual sport, and I largely relate that foundational background to being an entrepreneur because I learned to kind of live and die by my own efforts and success or failures. As my kids take naps right here. Tech is very important. It's a love-hate, as especially parenting, it's hard to think about how much iPad time. It's obviously, kids see it and then you're on your phone and like, why can't I watch my iPad? So it becomes, a bit of a weird dialect in your own head. But in general, I think it's allowed for a lot of freedoms and a lot of good transparency within parent life. We swear by Nanit or a monitor. That's our choice of monitor, has been since our kids were born, but it's allowed us to, have the freedom to be out at dinner and knowing there's a babysitter there, but having eyes on your child as well. So just a little, comforting rather than a monitor that's in your home and you can't see it from anywhere. I think that's been a really big, huge win and comforting mechanism for us as parents, to know that your kids are fine and be able to see them from anywhere in the world at any time. Even when I'm traveling, I can check in, see them sleeping, makes you smile. There's not a ton of tech things we use for our kids. That's probably the mainstay. And then a digital photo album in the kitchen, which I'm super interested to understand if our children will remember more than we will from years 1 to 5, because we're being fed photos all the time and there's so much documentation versus 24 pictures in a roll. My son will look at our Google Home or whatever that's filing pictures through and say, oh, that was my first birthday. I'm like, as if you can even remember your first birthday. So I think it'll trigger, maybe in that case, more memory from a younger age, which I think is really cool. So I think tech is important. It's just obviously how you use it. Yeah, sleep is arguably the currency you have the least of when you're a parent. And it becomes your most sought after currency for sure. It's all you want to do. So Nanit has, from day one, just watching, I wake up at around 6 every day, so just knowing, seeing when they start to stir, it just gives you that kind of, those levels of comfort. Most recently, the sound and light has been the best because not only has it been a sound machine and you can do all your research on what colors help you sleep better, help you wind down better, help you wake up. But our 3-year-old at 2.5 went through probably 2 months of sleep regression, which is like a year. We'd wake up at 3 and I'd have to negotiate with him for an hour because he's like, I'm up, I just want to hang, let's eat breakfast. Let's have my vitamin gummies. And I'd be like, dude, time means nothing to a child, obviously. And the more I try and explain it to him, the less I want him to understand it, because as soon as you understand the constraints of time, I feel like your imagination is cut in half, or maybe less. Now we just program the light to be green. We encourage him not to leave his room until it's green, and then sometimes it's long. He'll wake up at 6 and for an hour be like, green light turn on, come on, green light turn on, but he won't leave his room. So it allows us to sleep a little more if we choose to or can. So that's been like a really fun feature because it's working, but functional feature that I don't think we could just live without at this current time. As much as I hate like the cliches, like time goes so fast. So just like any time you can find to spend with your kid, that, especially being an entrepreneur, you can create that everything's a fire drill, and like I gotta get up and I gotta answer these emails right away, and I have to do this and this. Like really, a lot of this stuff we're all programmed to think, especially in North America in general. I think, you know, we work to live, a lot of us. I think we do have more freedom and luxury of time than we all think. Just like the moments you can find them, because I'm only 3 years into this. It's not like I've got kids who are 20 or something, but I feel like there's going to be moments you just can't be around for. So the ones you can, try and be there to be present as much as you can.
What would you say is your superpower as a dad?
Can you ask my wife? I'd love to hear her response. I don't know what my superpower is. Every day feels like a different superpower, especially when your kid is talking versus, you know, just feeding and burping your kid. I'm pretty fast at changing. I consider it like a pit stop in an F1. I'm in and out as fast as I can. It's like I'm always like in my head, like, but with, you know, a 3-year-old who's talking and negotiating with you every day, I feel like your superpowers are just coming out in all sorts of different ways. So I would like to say if I knew a superpower, it'd be so limiting, because that's the only one I would have. I have many powers, none of which are super, but they're all important. I mean, there's tons of features on the Nanit that I find incredibly valuable. I think one from like day one is just being able to go back and see your moments, like your memories, because it saves them all. So, you know, even with our second child, the first night our son walked to and stepped up his little stool, he brought it over, stepped up to the crib and like peeked in because she was crying, and then was like, it's okay, you know. It was just like, and then we have that forever. It's the sweetest memory of all time. We also have all the freakouts. We don't watch us quite as often. And then split screen is a huge feature, which I now understand if we could live without. Having 2 kids, having both kids on the screen with both their sounds on is an incredible feature. Just even the nightlight feature, sometimes it's a little scary in the dark in the room, so we turn that on, just gives a little glow. Also, now that our son is 3, he understands that we're there and watching, and he knows there's a microphone, so without wanting to wake up his sister because they share a room, he'll go up and be like, Mama, Papa, I need to pee. Or something, we'll have to come down and get him. And then the sound, you know, putting on white noise. If you don't have the sound and light is a great feature, because sometimes when we travel, we only bring one sound machine. If they don't share a room, then it's nice to put on some birds at 7 a.m. when he wakes up. And the talking feature, we don't sleep in the same room as them, obviously, so if he, you know, says I have to pee and he's freaking out, but we know it's not urgent, you can hold down and talk and say like, we'll be down in a couple minutes. And
Yeah.
sometimes we say we're coming down, but we know he just wants us, but he's so tired of us fall back asleep, so then we don't actually have to get up, which is so great. As a parent, as anyone watching would know, is just to like raise good kids with a good head on their shoulders who, in my opinion, have drive to create something they're proud of. Get kids to be in a good respect, like they respect everyone around them and are polite and work hard and work towards something they want to do and are passionate about, no matter what success is in their mind or yours, is the most important. As a family and in my marriage, I think divorce rate's so high, and not like it's bad, you know, there's all sorts of situations, but you know, keeping the love fresh, and we try and really subscribe to the idea that without us, there is no them. So if we forget to make time for ourselves and dates and, you know, trips and travel, like, that makes my wife and I the happiest, whether it's with kids or not. Find time for yourselves. And then work-wise, you know, the 10-year goal thing, you know, where are you going to be in 10 years? What's your plan? I don't really subscribe to it because my career didn't even exist 10 years ago, so I'm super happy. I never put myself in a box that way, and I try not to, you know, put my kids in a box that way, or my wife. You know, she's up to a whole new thing. I'm about to be on a whole new journey.
Funniest moments with your kids, or what are like some of the
Oh man,
the things that make you laugh that your kids do?
I mean, I feel like they're just getting replaced daily at this point because your kid can speak. Or the babies, like everything's cute, but like nothing's. It's like memorable, it's like crawling, walking, talking. My daughter said "Dada" yesterday. I thought that was pretty great. I mean, yesterday I just got home from traveling, and my son was like, "Papa, my feet hurt. I can't walk." And I was like, "Why do they hurt so much?" He's like, "Papa, I've been standing around waiting for you to come home, so my feet are so sore. Can I have a foot massage?" So then I rubbed his feet for like 10 minutes. Not 10 minutes, like 2 minutes. And he's like, I feel better. Did you bring me anything? There's all sorts of, I mean, I don't know. It's like, again, it's just, I try and write down some of the funny lines to remember because I feel like they're all just exiting. But yeah, that's the most recent one.
How do you feel about that?
Great.
Good.
Yeah. How do you feel about